Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, and I just wanted to start off by apologizing because I am unable to make the podcast this week. I have an ice hockey tournament, and on top of that, it is MrMattyPlays' birthday. But I'm also really proud to announce that the H.A.M Radio Podcast, after 83 episodes, has their first sponsor, and it's one that you guys are going to love because you guys have loved them in the past, and that's Vault Amino. This is an app that you can download on both your iPhone or your Android, and you can find the best new Fallout information on there instantly and get involved with the discussion with tons of people. I will be on there. My handle is like my Twitter handle at G27status, so feel free to follow me there where you can go ahead and communicate with me on a personal level. Like I said, there's tons of forums and conversations to get involved in. There's polls you can take, and you can just get more involved in the lore of the Fallout universe as well as this wonderful community we've created. This is without a doubt the best mobile app for Fallout fans, and I'm genuinely saying that. That has nothing to do with the promotion. This is a good place for Fallout fans to gather. So I do hope you guys give it a look. Links are down in the description below if you want to download it on your phone. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy this week's podcast, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.
What is going on, everyone? You know what? I should say salutations, and I want to keep recording at this stage. Salutations. That's such a terrible intro, Matty, so you know whenever you listen to this.
Oh my God.
This is the LoneVaultWanderer, and welcome to week 83 of the H.A.M Radio Podcast. You know what's very funny, though? Matty won't, he'll put it up on his channel without listening to it. That's the level of trust we have with each other.
Can we just make it...
We should mess it up so bad.
I'm looking at you, Rachel. Before we get started, though, I'll obviously introduce who's here. But Matty was very upset, Rachel, that you're on now, and you're never on when he asked you to be on.
Oh.
He's never asked me to be on.
That's conflicting info.
And also, me and Rachel are like a package deal. If you get Rachel, you've got to get me on. And if you get me on, you've got to get Rachel on.
But let's introduce everyone.
It's always been you.
It has always been me. So we have Moodude, we have Nova, and we have Rachel. So everyone say hi at the same time so it sounds all good.
Hi.
Guys,
Good delay there, Rachel.
don't fucking interrupt each other.
Hey.
I know.
So
How's it going?
Yeah, everyone's going good. We've been all bantering before the start of this podcast. And obviously Noah isn't here, Matty isn't here. Noah has a very sore throat apparently, and Matty is doing something. So all the normal links are in the description below, t-shirt store, all that stuff. I'm assuming that Matty's going to be doing timestamps and stuff in the description below. So check all that out. Fuck, it's week 83 of the podcast. I'm sorry for not being here for the past couple of weeks, I think. But we have a bit of news to talk about today, and let's start off with Fallout. Now, Moodude, you've been quiet, so I want to talk about this, and you have the first response. You can tell Nova and Rachel to be very silent and to not interrupt you. You have my permission.
Don't
interrupt me.
So, there's been some news about this secret DLC for Fallout 4. There was a listing on SteamDB, which essentially archives all information for games on Steam. And there was a new DLC that popped up, and there's been a recent update to it. Essentially, it's very technical, and I don't understand it, but I want to sound like I know what I'm talking about. It changed depots or something, and the name Terrapin popped up, and people are saying that Terrapin is the new code name of this DLC. And Terrapin actually is a type of turtle. Really weird. It could be a code name. We still don't know what it is at this stage. Moodude, you have free reign to speculate as to what this is.
Okay, so I just got put on the spot.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Well, it could be a giant turtle monster, and then we jump in it, and then it's like a whole new world, and it's like Bethesda's most detailed and biggest world space. So I think that'd be the best outcome out of everything.
There is an old Bible story, and don't ask me why I know this, but they also used it in Legend of Zelda. This old story, I know, I think it's Bible or it's something else, but there's this old story about how this giant turtle is actually the Earth and everything lives on top of the back of the giant turtle. Could we have something like this?
Belief.
Since when Fallout 4 has been Fallout 4 Bible Edition, you play as Jesus Christ, finding your father, walk through the wasteland of Jerusalem.
That would be a very interesting story, wouldn't it?
I think you could sell those, excitingly. But also, didn't Pete Hines, specifically point out when he got asked about this, in October, he's like, No, we said Nuka World is the last one.
Yeah.
We haven't told what we're doing yet.
So Pete Hines on Twitter essentially responded to a number of people saying that, no, this isn't a DLC. For Nuka World, as Nova said, was the last one. We don't believe it's VR either. According to Vault Data List, they would release that as a separate executable, not just as a DLC. So whatever it is, my best guess is still a HD resolution texture pack, something similar with what they did with Skyrim, but because that would act as a DLC. But what do you think, Rachel?
I think it's a combination of Fallout and BioShock that is going to happen.
Oh,
just kidding.
you're speaking my language.
Oh my God.
I don't actually think that's going to happen, but wouldn't that be fucking cool?
That would be fucking
Fallout
amazing.
Shock Infinite.
Oh my God.
But you remember back in the day,
do it.
Bethesda and 2K worked together. I mean, they did.
Don't
They did. They
rationalize
sold
it.
Borderlands.
Do not rationalize this.
Okay, fine. I won't speculate.
It's not gonna
on
happen.
BioShock.
It's not gonna happen. So don't.
Not.
You're gonna only let yourself down.
But let's go around the table here and actually ask if there were to be a final DLC for Fallout 4. What would each of you actually like to see? We can start with Nova.
Oh God, you put me first. Oh,
You know what,
shit.
guys? Get over it. I'll put you on the spot, and you'll fucking accept it, and you'll like
I
it.
was hoping you'd put Rachel on it, and then she would be doing this. I want a DLC. What you get the Nintendo Switch, and you get to be Karen, and you go to Deathclaw raiding
Damn it.
parties, left and right. You bring out your Switch, you all have a good time, and then you fuck off back to your house.
And play more Nintendo
Jesus.
Switch on your TV.
Yeah.
What about
Karen's
you,
an
Mudu?
addict.
What would you like?
I would like Obsidian to make it.
Oh god.
Oh, it would be 10 times better.
Oh, it would be 10 times better.
Shut up.
So people need to know that when we
no.
do those jokes about Obsidian, it would have been better if Obsidian made it. We're actually joking.
Oh.
We do like
Yeah.
I know.
Bethesda and Obsidian, for God's sake. I remember someone
but-
that was like, you're going to be alienating your Obsidian fans. I'm like, we are Obsidian fans. We're just joking, for God's sake.
You can be a fan of more than one thing. Who'd have guessed?
No, you can't.
Yeah.
No, it's either one side or the other. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Rachel? What would you like to see? Although, Rachel, I believe that you haven't really played the DLC yet for Fallout 4. Is that correct?
I have not. I haven't had time. And also, like, just many different things are happening, like, game-wise and, like, in my life-wise that I have to make time for other things.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll play them all when, like, a definitive edition of Fallout 4 comes out, I think.
Yeah.
That'll be like another
Instead of
year
counting
or
them
two.
all one by one.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
See, I remember when I
But,
got into Fallout initially, it was Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition. I mean, that was
Oh,
that was
yeah,
my
yeah.
shit.
Same here.
Yeah. God, the DLC for
Yeah.
that game was great. Can we all talk about how
Yeah.
great Fallout 3 was?
Well, we have to
Yeah.
we have to also note that me and you, Lone, since we only played that edition, we never experienced the your character died. Fucking restart now, kiddo. And you're like, no.
That's right.
Kiddo.
Oh, and you know what happened? Fallout New Vegas didn't allow you to play post game, and everyone's like, "No, it's cool.
No.
It's Obsidian. It's fine."
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's what kind of gets me about, like, when they're like, Fallout New Vegas is the best. I'm like, but there's a lot of things Fallout New Vegas did really wrong and not that good. Like,
I love how
I'm
we're
just
bashing on Fallout New Vegas now. All right,
I
so
like Fallout New Vegas.
I
Don't
love
get me
Fallout New
wrong,
Vegas.
I love it.
Fallout New Vegas is the best Fallout, okay?
I don't know.
Mudu, you're just making me angry right
I'm,
now. You know
I'm
what?
treading on
all right.
thin ice,
The,
but, you
the
know...
best Fallout is going to be down to personal preference. I don't think you can objectively
Yeah.
say which one's better. Although some
don't
people
think
would
so,
disagree about Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I didn't hate
I
Fallout 4, and I feel alienated for not being like, I hate it. I'm like, I don't hate it. I mean, I like the voice acting, but I also don't kind of like how they did it. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game.
Mhm.
It's
The
not the
gameplay is
worst
good.
game I've ever played,
No,
but,
but,
I
like-
will say the voice acting was great, but I feel like the story didn't necessarily meet the amount of I don't know if passion's the right word, but like I feel like the voice actors were super in it and like the story didn't quite mesh with how much they were giving to the story, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've talked to Lone about this, but it's kind of the problem with the voice acting in Fallout is it's like in Witcher, you're meant to role play as Geralt of Rivia,
Hmm.
but in
in Fallout, you're meant to be, who do you want to be? You're like, I want to be this guy. Like, you can be that guy, but your voice actor won't be fully on board with how you're playing. You're like, shit.
Yeah, like
I
did like Fallout 4. I think I've made that crystal clear. But I think the thing that it suffered from, both in terms, like it kind of touches on not the voice acting. Well, actually, yes, the voice acting, the voice dialogue, and also the way you can actually build your character. I mean, it's stripped away. I don't want to say dumbed down or simplify, but it's stripped away a lot of the choice that you used to have. So, for example, with character creation in New Vegas, you could really create a unique, specific character. You couldn't just be this ultimate powerful dude in every single category like you can do in Fallout 4, because you can eventually get all perks. And the same thing goes with the voice protagonist. You can't necessarily picture your voice and picture who you want to be in the wasteland, because that's given to you essentially. So in both of those respects, I can see why, fans of New Vegas have a bit of issue with Fallout 4, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game. It means it's a different game.
Well, I hate making this comparison, but I kind of like to say that Fallout 4 is a good game, but it's not a great Fallout game.
I hear that all
I
the
hate
time,
making that comparison, but it's just that, like, Fallout 2 and New Vegas and a lot of the time in 3, like, your decisions really had an impact. You can see them, like, happening, or you can, like, feel them, essentially. Like, in New Vegas, like, when you finally meet Benny, or, like, if you let him go and you let him go to the fort, you have, like, multiple options of how to kill him, but you can, like, crucify him, and then he'll be there every time you go and talk to Caesar, and he'll be, like, crying out for, like, his mom. It's pretty funny, but
this is the beauty. That was the beauty about New Vegas that I really liked, because I went for all of the achievements. So there was this one point, and I think it's kind of similar to Fallout 4, but it's more fleshed out in New Vegas. There's this one point where you have to make a hard save, and then from that point, there's like 4 or 5 different directions you go into. You can either, go beyond Kaiser's Legion, or you can help with the NCR, or you can, take over the strip yourself, or all those options that were there were actually legitimate choices, right? And in that regard, I can understand why New Vegas didn't allow you to play post-game, because there's probably no way to actually make that work with so many options being there. But that's the thing that I really liked about it.
I will say, though, I am kind of happy at least they did have their try of going, let's put in a voice actor as the main characters. Because I doubt they're going to bring it back. I will say, though, I did enjoy that I listened to more dialogue. I reach a point with Fallout after I've probably played it once or twice where I just kind of skip through all the dialogue. Like, I'm like, I really, like, this, for sure, who cares? Yeah. Except when because I can read faster than what they're saying, and I'm like, I don't want to sit here as Matt Perry slowly goes, Benny will take you to the top. You're like, oh, Matt Perry, hurry up.
God,
also, can we also point out that you may complain about Fallout 4's voice acting, but you cannot say Fallout New Vegas had one of the worst voice acting of all time in any video game Matt Perry as fucking Benny. Like, where was his heart in that performance? It was so boring.
And it's so weird because he's such a big fan of Fallout.
Yeah.
So it's like, what?
Yeah, but how
did you do this?
How good was Leggett Linnaeus? I mean, that guy's voice is fucking magic. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I like Caesar. That was pretty cool. And Boone was a really deep character, because he was my first companion when I was like 12.
Wife's kidnapped, and it's been a while. You can move on. But my wife.
And the best thing is when you undressed Boone, and he's like, "Can I have my beret back, please?"
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. I always stole his beret, and I never gave it back.
Oh, Rachel, that's very mean. I mean, when he's walking around the wasteland,
still followed me.
People in New Vegas, like a lot of people in New Vegas.
Yeah, she's a
voice. I didn't know that until recently.
She was in the Silver Ash or something, wasn't she?
It was like a bunch of different characters. She was like a bunch of different merchants, like, a bunch of different like armed guards and like some quests people. Yeah, and I think she was in Silver Rush. I can't remember.
Like saying whatever their names are, I can't remember.
Okay, well look, we're on this topic, and it's not a news thing, but I want to talk about it anyways. It doesn't seem like Obsidian is going to get the Fallout franchise back. So if there were to be any other developer, who would you each want that developer to be to pick up Fallout? It's a good question, I know. I want to put Rachel on the spot now for Nova.
I mean, I'm interested. That's a hard one.
It's like I don't know.
I would like to see what BioWare might do with it. I don't know if it would be the right path for Fallout, but I would be interested to see what their ideas would be.
Yeah. I think the best, and even though I haven't even played the game, I've read enough reviews to know how good it is. CD Projekt Red would probably be a great company to pick up Fallout.
That'd be great.
I was gonna say Rockstar. See,
dude, that's such a good idea.
Oh, you stole my answer.
Mooded. He took your thunder.
Yeah, I was thinking like shit developers. Looked at my wallpaper. It's like Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar. Yep, that's it. Rockstar. That's the one.
Guys, what would a Fallout developed by From Software look like?
God, that's a good
a Dark Souls-esque Fallout universe.
Oh, no. That's called Metro. We have that game.
Fair. It's fair.
I was talking about the new Metro got talked about.
Yeah.
Are you going to talk about that one?
We can during the other segment. Okay. We should power through this Fallout 4 news. There's another one about finally Fallout 4 mods coming to the PS4 later this month. There's no specific date, but there's a tweet on Fallout's Twitter that we expect to release it sometime later this month. Stay tuned for updates. Finally, those on PS4, although I don't know how many of you are there left playing Fallout 4, but maybe this will pick up your interest in the game again. I don't know. I guess using this news as a crutch, what if you guys were finished with Fallout 4 on the PS4 and this news came around, would this at all incentivize you to play the game again?
Depends on what mods there are.
It'll be basically, I would. I'd at least have a little look at what they have on store.
But bearing in mind that on PS4 there won't be any quest mods or anything like that.
Yeah,
and plus there's a big limit, right? It's like 200 megabytes or something.
No, I have Fallout 4 on PS4, and I'm just really skeptical of whether or not this would actually incentivize anyone.
Yeah, well, I think the mod limit is for Skyrim on PS4 it's 1 gig, and for Fallout 4 it's 900 megabytes. But it's not so much the size as it is the actual mods that are available, and mods that change any external assets can't be there. So in terms of if you've already played through Fallout 4, unless you want to play it through again with whatever mods there are available, then fine, go for it. But as someone that's finished the game, if you're happy with finishing the game and there's no more content that you want to enjoy, I don't see these kinds of mods as being of interest to you unless somehow there were quest mods, but there's not.
Yeah. I think the better thing would be just get it on PC and actually play it with mods the way it should be played. That would be my suggestion.
Yeah,
you're such an elitist.
I know, Rachel. That's what I'm saying. I have it on PS4, and even I'm saying that.
Yeah.
You've really played Fallout if you played it on PC. Okay, Rachel.
You're not a true Fallout fan. Dude, you should have seen the backlash I got when I uploaded a video saying that 30 FPS is fine for Skyrim on console.
I saw that. That was funny.
Oh, what?
Whatever. Play how you want to play.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's my motto.
Any final thoughts on Fallout 4, guys? Before we move on.
I think if they included the one line from New Vegas where they're patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter, would have made it way better.
They didn't have that random off the cuff one-liner. They didn't have the arrow in the knee.
Snakes.
It was "Let's go, pal." Although it wasn't in the game.
It wasn't in the game.
What did NPCs say around towns and shit that really was that off the cuff one-liner?
They did. You have to talk to them. They don't say anything unless you actually talk to them. I think.
But are we really complaining that there wasn't a meme to be driven
Yes, we
into
are.
the brand?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Come on, it's not a line from New Vegas. Please.
No, it's not. Every time I hear it, I die inside. I'm like, oh, shut up. Oh, walking around the Mojave makes me wish for a nuclear winter.
Different voice actors say that too.
Threw my head off.
That's brilliant.
It did have tunnel snakes rule though. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that came back.
I guess. But what was Fallout 3's one-liner? I don't even know.
Tunnel snakes rule.
It wasn't tunnel snakes rule.
No, that was the Fallout 3's big meme was tunnel snakes rule.
Really?
Megaton? No, not Megaton.
Yes, it was.
You know what? I want to Google it. Fallout 3.
Fallout 3 meme.
Actually, all it will be like, when you're trying to play Fallout 3, but then you
the top 30 best quotes from Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Okay. Oh, this is a great one from Fallout New Vegas. So this is, I can't remember who the character's name was, but it's when you're in like the Helios 1 sun fucking building thing. Oh, yeah. And the guy's like, they asked me... Yes, him, fantastic. And they're like, they asked me how well I understood theoretical physics. I said I had a theoretical degree in physics. They said, welcome aboard. That was a great quote. Oh, God.
Wait, all threes might have been like, shut up and take my bottle caps. That was a thing.
Yeah.
That was in there? That was in the game?
No, it was like memes surrounding the game.
No, we're talking about memes in the game.
We're talking about memes in the game. So like Skyrim's was arrow to the knee. What's Fallout 3's though? I can't think of anything.
I met a woman who actually got shot in the knee with an arrow pull thing. Like, and she told me during a Bethesda Skyrim thing, and she's like, it's really hard telling people about this after being like, because everyone just kind of has a giggle, and you're like, no, I got shot in the knee with an arrow. It's quite awful. And you're like, oh, I'm like, yeah.
Well, I guess we can stop talking about Fallout now. So, Dishonored 2, all right? That's the next piece of Bethesda news. I know, like, none of us have really played it. I have it, but...
I've only played, like, the first hour or two.
So we can't really talk about that. But the big news about Dishonored 2 that I've actually experienced are that it has a lot of problems on PC at the moment. I don't know about console, Xbox One, PS4, but it's having a lot of performance problems on PC. And it's really around... If you have anywhere between the minimum and recommended specs for Dishonored 2, roughly anyways, there's a lot of frame rate issues if you ever try and go above high settings. So it goes from high, very high, ultra, right? But for someone like me, for example, I have a GTX 970, 16 gigs of RAM. So like a decent PC. Yet I was getting, I think it was like maybe 30 to 40 frames on ultra, which surprised me. Then maybe 40 to 50 on very high, and then maybe 60 on high, but still drops here and there, especially when I run outside, even on high. So there does seem to be some sort of bottleneck, some sort of issue somewhere, and these are problems across the board, and I think they are releasing a patch in the next couple of days, but I guess it's just, kind of unfortunate that, we have to wait for a patch, but what are your guys' thoughts on this, or just Dishonored 2 in general, if you don't have any thoughts?
I'm kind of happy. The only things I'm having is audio, like, stutters. Like, the audio for me is just like, I spent like an hour going like, the hell is going up with this? It's just stuttering, and besides that, it's been running fine for, like, relatively fine for me to what I've noticed. Ultra.
What's your graphics card?
Oh, not that good. It's like, I can't remember.
That doesn't make sense. Are you playing at 60 FPS or 30?
I'm pretty sure 60. I don't remember.
That
Lauren,
doesn't make any sense, Nova. You're lying.
You've caught me, Lauren. I'm lying to impress you. I'm lying to impress you and all my cool friends. You caught me out, Lauren. How'd you know?
Moo, dude, what do you think?
That's really weird, because I have a 1070, and I was running at like 40 frames at Ultra. So I don't understand.
There you go. But the thing is, a 1070 is it's above the recommended. So the recommended was a 1060, yet even at that, you're at Ultra still can't hit 60 FPS.
I'm watching Dishonored 2 now, and
I have 12 gigs of RAM, but I mean, like, that's still good. Like the recommended,
actually maybe it's 16 gigs recommended.
Recommended is 16. Yeah, I'm on right now.
Yeah.
But I still can't imagine that would cost 20 FPS, to be honest. It's strange because my understanding with PC specs, like, it always differs, of course, and they always give like a very broad range when it comes to recommended specs. But if there is a certain spec set recommended, I always assume that you can run the game on the highest settings at those recommended specs at a pretty good frame rate. Is that a fair assumption to make?
I'm going to say no, just to disagree with the rest of them.
I'll be the devil's advocate. I like to be the devil's advocate.
Yeah, what's your reasoning behind that? Why do you say no?
Next question. Now, I'm launching my Dishonored 2 right now. It'll be about 3 minutes loading, but when it's in that game, I'll tell you.
I have a feeling that Novus is going to like crash out of the Skype call for launching Dishonored 2.
No.
Now that I've asked him to prove his point, he's like, no.
I have Skype running and Dishonored 2, and I still get 60 frames on Ultra.
How demanding do you think Skype is, Lauren?
It actually is very demanding. It's a very demanding app.
It's pretty demanding compared to other stuff. Like Discord.
Compared to Discord.
Oh, don't even get me started on Discord.
What do you think, Mudu?
Garbage.
You just said you played Dishonored 2, right?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Mudu.
Oh, you cut out for a second, so I heard "do," and then I didn't know if you're talking to me or
I'm
like.
talking to you. Like, what do you think about Dishonored 2 and your PC?
I started playing it, and then I was jumping from like 20 to 40 frames, so I just kind of stopped playing it after like 15 minutes. So.
Yeah. And I think that's a consensus across the board. Like, it's just across a range of PCs it's having issues. It's not just AMD, it's also NVIDIA as well. Arcane have said that they are releasing a patch of sorts to try and address these issues. Whatever they are, it doesn't seem right, because to be honest, like, while Dishonored 2 is a beautiful game, it's not a graphically demanding game. It shouldn't have be having these frame drops.
Can I just say Dishonored 1 has aged like shit. The first Dishonored looks
it hasn't. It's not that bad.
When was the last time you played it, Lauren?
It doesn't look good.
I was playing it literally a couple of days ago.
Nova's side on this.
It did not age
there
well.
Is a Dishonored premium something edition that's up-resed.
The definitive or the
definitive? Yeah, that one.
Definitive.
But even then, how old's the first Dishonored? Only a couple of years old. Like,
is
like,
it
really?
The art style they chose didn't age well.
No, but like it's just like I was playing it, like I was just like, you know what, for Dishonored 2 I'm just gonna play a little bit of Dishonored 1, and like just like the resolution on things are really low, like the texture quality is bad, the people look awful.
I was not a fan of the textures. Yeah.
The people looked really bad. Like they meant, like, I understand you're trying to make not cartoon but like a graphic like designed style, but it just
But see, that's the interesting thing, because usually those games that have that graphic cartoonish style age very well.
Yeah, I mean, this one did it. It aged like milk.
What's the best game?
Aged like milk.
It did. It really did.
I like that.
The best game that I think is, you know, a perfect representation of aging very well is Wind Waker. I think, like, look at that cel-shaded game and you think 10 years later, it's still fine. Not so much like Ocarina of Time, for example.
They have remastered it since the original.
Okay, so I'm in my Dishonored 2 now. I mean, I think I'm not getting probably 60. I mean, wait, I'm just going to put
I don't think you're getting 60, Nova. I really don't.
I never said I was getting 60.
I think you did. Saying, we should play back the audio.
Oh, man. Play back.
I said,
I'm pretty sure he said
mine
60.
hasn't. I said mine has been running relatively fine. I played games on a and you called me a liar once, and I proved you wrong then, and I'll prove you wrong now.
That's brilliant. Well, any final thoughts on Dishonored 2 before we move on to our favorite game news or what we're playing?
No.
I'm just curious as to why, like, I'm seeing a pattern in PC games personally, like the PC versions of games having issues, and then the console ones running fine, and I'm just like,
well,
it's harder to
interesting to
it
me.
happened with BioShock the Collection,
Batman.
And I can admit
and
that
Batman
Batman,
Arkham.
right? And
yeah,
I don't
Batman.
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It comes down to that with a console, you know exactly what your specs are meant to be, and then you get that done, and they're like, "Hooey, let's get this PC done." You're like, we do not have enough time. We do not have nearly enough time to get this working.
Yeah.
And like, there's the whole Rockstar with Red Dead Redemption 2 not getting a PC port.
Here's my theory. Here's my working theory. Me and my friends are talking about this. No. Okay. Do you know how they wait for it to release the Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC when the new consoles came out?
Yeah.
And they're going to soon release literally their new consoles made for VR.
Yeah.
What if they wait till that and they do a graphically updated edition?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they didn't do it for Red Dead, the first Red Dead Redemption. They know.
But have a look at GTA. I mean, with GTA, how long did we have between console and PC releases? It was
like a year or a year and a half.
I mean,
about a year.
And I'm assuming, because I didn't read the forums and I wasn't in those circles, I'm assuming people were upset about that. But eventually, everyone got over it, and now they're happy that they have a good PC version.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, there's no way, especially since they're making Red Dead Redemption 2 online, like, a lot of stuff online, no way in a million years they're going to miss out on the PC market. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
If people are like, the PC didn't sell that bad.
What confuses me the most,
really did.
And I'm not a technical junkie or anything like that, or an expert, but what confuses me is that I thought the architecture for Xbox One and PS4 are more akin to PC, that this would be easier. And I don't know
That's
why.
what I thought too. Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but in any event,
we
can move on to more happier things, and Rachel's going to be taking the reins with this one because she wants to talk about Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh boy! So who's watched the trailer?
I have.
Anybody?
Just watch it now. Watch it now.
Watch it right now.
After the Mass Effect, my experience with Mass Effect has fucking soured me to this series.
Don't upset Rachel when she's talking about Mass Effect Andromeda.
See, I don't understand how this happened to Nova because I went through the grief with him while he was trying to get this working, and I don't understand how it happened.
I will re-download them and show you. Like, I'll send you snapshots of my black-faced character. I didn't even make him blackface. He was just like pure pitch black.
But like, really I don't understand. Like, how did you download it?
I didn't know this the problem.
Download.
I don't know. I don't know.
But in any event, Rachel, tell us about Mass Effect Andromeda.
All right, so I have a couple things to talk about. I wish you guys had seen the trailer because
I'm watching it now.
Okay, because personally, the actual trailer itself didn't quite excite me as much as the orientation video on the website. When you sign up for the Andromeda Initiative, you sign up and it gives you like this orientation video being like, this is what you're going to be doing in this initiative. You're going to be going to the Andromeda Galaxy, and it shows you all this stuff. And I'm like, it's slower paced than the trailer, but it excited me more than the trailer because the trailer didn't really give us a lot to go on. It was just a lot of snippets of like cutscenes and random quotes that we don't understand yet.
Yeah.
And I was expecting a little more.
It looks beautiful though, doesn't it?
It looks really good.
It looks all right, I guess.
Oh, fuck it. Nova, you be quiet as Rachel's talking about Andromeda. I swear to God.
So I've written a few notes on what we now know about this game. So it's taking place between Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. So before Mass Effect 3 is when the Reapers come and start tearing shit up. So it's basically you travel 600 years to get to the Andromeda Galaxy. So and it's a one-way trip. So you're not coming back. Like you're gone now. And this is where you are. You play as one of the Ryder twins, either Scott or Sarah. So that's
cool. So
cool.
they have two genders. That's great.
Yeah. And the other twin that you don't choose is still very integral to the story because there's lots of clips with the other twin.
Okay.
And your father, Alec Ryder, was the Pathfinder of the Hyperion. So he was like the original Pathfinder, and for some reason he's unable to lead. Maybe he dies. I don't know. I don't think that was actually said. Yeah. So I kind of call that happening. And then the responsibility falls to you and your twin to lead the pathfinding of this new world for humanity. And the lead ship of this expedition is called the Nexus, and it looks pretty fucking cool. It's huge, this giant ship. And there are 5 ships making the trip to Andromeda, and one of them seems to be human, carrying just humans, and then the others are what I remember hearing it was just the council races, so just Turian, Solarian, and Asari, which kind of upset me.
Spooky.
It made me a little upset because some of the other races, like the Krogans and the Quarians, they're so fucking cool, and we're probably not going to see them. We're not going to see them in this game.
You've just upset Rachel, guys.
How? We didn't make Mass Effect.
I'm talking to the developer. You know what? Fucking swear to God. BioWare. Don't interrupt me, Nova. All right, God.
Actually, no. I won't blame BioWare. I'll blame EA.
Why challenge everything.
Blame EA.
Okay.
Am I here in my
so try. I guess the question I want to ask here is, as someone that hasn't played the Mass Effect series, I know, shock horror. would this be a game?
Well, I haven't
that,
either. So
well, there's Moo Dude. So would this be a
tried
game that
and
anyone?
was fucking awful experience.
Could anyone just jump in and play Andromeda, or do you really need to know the story, or is this completely standalone and just intertwined into the universe?
From what I'm gathering, I think it's a standalone. It might reference a few things from like Mass Effect 1 or 2, but I don't think it's going to really focus on that because we're leaving the galaxy. We're no longer in the Milky Way galaxy.
And that's probably why they decided to do that.
Yeah, they're completely jumping. This is like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be mostly standalone.
So it's like a New Vegas to Fallout 3 kind of thing.
Or like an Infinite to Bioshock 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to mention Bioshock.
Oh my god.
Hey,
good lord.
Bioshock is great.
It's a fantastic game.
You're not arguing with anyone here. Everyone's agreeing with you.
Hey, man.
I know, and I'm just reinforcing
Alone made me play the DLC to Infinite.
No,
and I was just
people are going to get angry at me for hijacking the podcast. We've got to stop talking about Bioshock. Rachel, do you have any more thoughts on Mass Effect?
Oh, I have a lot more to talk about.
Go on.
Basically, from what I've gathered, where am I here? Oh, the Ryder family is actually, you can customize like your background. So like you can customize your father's like history or like how you see your father. And like you can also customize the twin you don't choose to play as. You can customize like, I guess, their personality or whatever, which is kind of cool. So they're adding more to like you play the way you want to play kind of thing. And they're adding loyalty missions back. So for you guys who haven't played Mass Effect or Mass Effect 2, specifically Mass Effect 2, the loyalty missions were some of my favorite missions of the entire game.
Okay.
You basically have your crew members, and they, as you start like gaining their friendship, they will come to you and be like, hey, I need a favor. And there'll be this serious problem in their lives that you need to help them with. And then if you help them with it, they'll be loyal to you.
Okay.
The catch-22 of this is they're not as important to the main story as they were in Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2, if you didn't do these loyalty missions, you risked their lives in the final mission and they possibly could die because they weren't loyal to you. So they wouldn't be as...
So they would betray you?
No, they wouldn't betray you. They just like as you were going throughout this mission, they wouldn't be as focused to your cause. So they would be weaker and
kind of like Nova when he plays Overwatch. Yeah, okay, cool.
You are
oh my god.
Don't even. After this, 1v1 me Overwatch. Let's go, boy. Okay, Rachel, here's a Mass Effect question for you. Is Seth Green coming back?
Haven't heard. Probably not.
Oh.
No, actually, I know for a fact he's not because there's no characters from the original Mass Effect series coming back in this game.
Not even the Seth Green himself?
No, unless he's playing somebody brand new and putting on a new voice, he's not coming back.
He's the GQ.
Joker's out.
Maybe it's Joker's identical twin brother called Seth Green.
Maybe. Just Seth Green showing up. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Hey, it's me, Seth Green. Yay! I reckon video games need more cameos, like just like direct celebrities,
of regular dudes, not characters.
Great.
Yeah, you're just like, oh look, it's Nicolas Cage.
Oh my god!
No, why is he the first person?
That's immersion breaking right there.
Excuse me. Are you telling me Flirt 4 would not be better if he had Nicolas Cage as a character running around saying what the bees?
He likes to do just a lot of random shit and a lot of shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if he started to pop up in random shitty games. I wouldn't be surprised.
Nicolas Cage.
Or like you're playing Bioshock and then just Tom Cruise comes out of nowhere like half your size and it's like, what's up?
No, Tom Cruise should be like the head of this religious cult or something.
I'm still important.
No, he'll be the head of this religious cult that tries to attack you and stuff.
I take it back. I just want Owen Wilson in all the games. Wow!
Wow! He's looking so hot right now.
Wow!
Continue, Rachel. I apologize about Nova.
Nova, I just feel bad that you haven't experienced the games like I have.
I don't. They have been an awful experience from the get-go.
Have you played them all?
I couldn't play them. That was my problem. I bought them and then I went, okay, let's get into this. And none of them, all three of them did not work.
But that doesn't make sense.
So
like you tried to play one.
The first one, okay, so I'll walk you through what happened with them. So I launched the first one and I'm, starting to load in. Then there's no audio. I couldn't even read the subtitles if I wanted to because all they said were subtitles, and then my shepherd was pitch black. I was like, oh.
I reckon this is a problem on Nova's side. It has to.
So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the second one. So I go to the second one. The subtitles problem returns to no audio. I was like, oh, let's go to the third one. And the third one just did not work.
This has to be a problem on Nova's
I went
PC.
on forums trying to figure this out while he was doing this, and it seems to be you downloaded it from like the EA thing, right? Like
no, yes, I bought it from Origin.
That seems to be where a lot of people are getting the problem from.
So can you buy it on
when they download it off of Origin?
Well, you can't get it on Steam.
They don't have it on Steam?
Nope.
No, of course they don't.
Oh.
It's EA. They're like my babies.
Can't you buy it from GOG or something?
No, but the problem is it'll still be on bloody Origin.
Get a
Rachel's
hard copy of the game. Disc it, man.
PC. Go old school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want to have to physically. Yeah.
Or EB Games. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, they've ruined EB Games.
Wait, hold on. You said GameStop, dude.
Okay,
right.
sorry. We have EB Games. I'm sorry.
That's
we
what I was
have
going to say, because like in the world,
Sorry.
it's Canada and Australia that has EB Games.
I just hear it so much on Twitter and like everywhere else. They're like, it's GameStop. I'm like, no,
it's EB Games.
EB Games is 10 times better than GameStop.
I still have my platinum membership card.
You mean when they just non-stop have sales? I have never seen an EB Games what's not been on a sale. It's been horrifying.
I love when you walk by the store and there are sale signs like plastered everywhere, and you think, I think EB Games is having a sale. I might walk in.
But no, Funk Pops or whatever they started off as a you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. They have taken over. They need to bloody stop.
But that's why they have the other stores now.
I walked into EB Games, half the stores just for the fucking Funk Pops or whatever. Like, you're like, slow down. You don't need that many.
That's why the Zing stores are a thing now. You know Zing? Have you been to a Zing store yet?
Yes, I have.
No,
That's what.
No.
So essentially, EB
Zing?
Games opened up a new chain of stores called Zing, and they're essentially merchandise for games. So pop toys, but also just pop culture in general. So movies and shit.
Mainly just the pop toys.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like one
keep
entire
it in there.
wall.
Why don't they just keep all of the?
Yeah, it seems like
just
just kind of a waste of like.
Because they're
why not
trying.
just keep it in the
My
store?
guess is that they're trying to establish, because it seems like there's obviously there's a slow move of games being sold from physical to digital. So they're trying to really establish this merchandise store just in case, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't blame them for that, but just slow down, Chiefs, with all your fun. Like, literally, not even that, but the Zing whatever, half of that store is the Funk things as well. It's ridiculous.
No, it's like one. Wait, you know what? You can buy Funhouse t-shirts from Zing, so that makes me happy.
Yeah, except I'd rather buy. I would rather give Rooster Teeth my money. I will give them my money directly.
Is that,
yeah, I don't.
Rachel, continue with Mass Effect.
I don't even know where we left off. I'm just. Where were we?
Just scroll through your
Okay,
notes.
well, let's just say this. Rachel, are you excited for Mass Effect Andromeda, and why?
I'm really excited. I think this has I have the hope that it will redeem the series because of Mass Effect 3's ending not being as
Were you not a fan of the ending? I don't know what the ending was, and probably
I don't want to spoil it for anybody
That's
who might want to still go there, but I think most people who will be listening to this will have experienced it themselves.
It's the same.
It's not. I think the extended version, like they released an extra version of the ending that made it a little better, which was great. But it's still we expected more choice, I think. But in the ending,
it isn't as the old phrase goes, right? It isn't the destination; it's the journey.
Yeah, but
except the destination was awful, so then you regretted the journey.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It wasn't.
Wait.
BioShock
1.
I didn't get as angry as some people did.
BioShock 1.
I was able to expect.
BioShock 1 had shit endings, right? Like I know that it had shit endings. Like the whole having two same evil endings and one good ending, I wasn't a fan of. But it doesn't mean I don't like BioShock 1.
No, but here's the thing, Lone. Did then they release a DLC to make the endings different? Did they have to reach the point where they went, oh shit, that's really not going down well?
Let's change it in DLC.
Yeah.
Well,
But then again, isn't Mass Effect more like based off choice, as far as I've seen through clips? Because you can obviously select dialogue.
Yes, and that's why people got so upset.
Because BioShock is a little bit less choice oriented.
But there was choice.
Yeah, that's true.
It was. Do you want to kill or save little sisters?
Do you want to have this really awkward 5-second scene where you're hurting this little girl, or do you want to?
You kill the child. You kill the child when you do that. Don't say hurt. You kill her.
You're hurting this little girl. It makes it sound so bad, but that's what it is.
Straight up dead.
I feel like I'm some sort of predator when I play that game.
Chris Hansen walks in. Can you please take a seat right over here?
Oh,
no,
God.
Chris Hansen.
Just take a seat right over there.
Please, just take a seat. What are you doing here? Well, I was just here to get to Madam. You knew she was here alone. You killed the big daddy.
No. Stop it, Nova.
my God.
I'll ask this question. No, I know Nova's not excited for it. Mooded, are you excited for Mass Effect Andromeda?
Well, I might pick it up because I don't know. I might refund Dishonored 2 and then get it.
Ooh, really? Jeez.
But I don't know, man. I got midterms. I got stuff to do.
Yeah, I feel
junior
you.
high school, bro.
I feel you.
Oh.
I have way too many games at the moment.
Rachel, what are your final thoughts on Andromeda then? What are your final thoughts on Mass Effect Andromeda?
I want it to be as good as it can be. I have hope because I remember reading a quote from BioWare saying, if we have to delay it again to make it better, they will. And that makes me think that they actually care.
And it seems like because they released this DLC that changed the ending, it seems like they're very aware of making sure that it's right this time around.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problems that happened with the other games was definitely EA and not BioWare. So I'm hoping that BioWare takes more care and doesn't let bigger, bigwig corporation people push them around and tell them that they need to do certain things with the game to make it get out faster or meet a certain quality for mainstream or whatever. Okay. I think make the game you want to make.
I want to like the Mass Effect series, don't get me wrong, but I've been burnt badly from the last 3.
That's just you. That's just you.
I think it's you, Nova. Sorry. I think your PC
although I
did
wrong. I played it on console though, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to play it on console.
Well, don't you have an Xbox One?
To play a game. No, I have an I'm tempted to buy a PS4 for Red Dead Redemption 2 to be
Xbox One backwards compat, man.
Xbox,
no, but I have friends on PS4. Let's be honest. At this point, you're picking between Xbox or PS4 for what your friends have.
That's
let's be honest. You're not all the exclusives. I get Last Guardian. You're like, I really don't care. I just want to play with my friends.
Excuse me, I'm so ready for Last Guardian.
I have this feeling it's going to be disappointed.
No, I agree with Nova on that.
It's going to be great.
How long have you waited?
10 years. It's going to be great. I refuse to admit anything else but greatness for that game.
Fingers and ears, la 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 la.
I'm not listening to anything.
Well, there's all these games that people have been waiting for, like Battlefront 3 and Fallout 4 and all this different stuff, and we've all been let down.
No, it's going to be great.
We'll see.
In Fallout's defense, they went, we're coming out next year. Last Guardian said, we're coming out sometime.
Yeah.
What is it, 7 years later?
They refused to let it go because they care. And they could have canceled it. They could have stopped. But they continued to delay because this game was so ahead of its time that they needed to do that to make it the greatest thing that they could possibly make it.
But if you give someone to do one thing for that long, after a while, the quality just drops. I don't know.
I will be the first to say that it went through development hell. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's been through a freaking roller coaster, but I'm still very optimistic that it will be one of the greatest story-driven games that I've ever played.
I'm not. I can't stand by that strong. Because it's just.
Nah, man, it's gonna be great.
It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years.
Let her have this, Nova. Let her have this, for God's sake. Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I like puzzle games. I went and replayed Shadow of the Colossus recently. And it's just that whole Team Eco. I know it's not the same people, but the original guy who directed it is still a part of this. He didn't leave even though there were so many problems.
Yeah.
So this guy's got something going on. He's got passion.
All right.
Here's my thing though. I wanna watch Rachel. I don't want to even watch the game. I just want to sit and watch Rachel play The Last Guardian and to see her emotions.
Well,
you mean how
it's coming out around Christmas time. Maybe I'll do a little Christmas streaming.
Because
maybe you
these
should.
are the two options. Because either you're going to be there very pissed off, or you're just going to be like crying and laughing and having fun.
It's got a big animal in it. I'm going to be sobbing the entire time. Don't even get me
Rachel,
wrong.
I got to let you know. All right, hold on. We all know that it's going to happen. It's like the dog in a movie.
It's going to die.
It's going to die.
It's either the kid's going to die or the dog's going to die.
It's going to be the dog. And then Owen Wilson from Marley and Me will come in crying.
Oh, God.
Right? Rachel, I got to ask, have you played Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I know I should. I've only heard good things.
It seems that Last Guardian seems to be very similar to that, and you should probably play it. It's like 2 to 3 hours long. You should really play it.
Yeah, I know. I've heard I've heard
fantastic.
really, really good things.
All right, Moo Dude, what is your gaming news, or what have you been playing this week?
I don't really have much in terms of gaming news. There's I guess Mafia 3 got a update for new outfits and more bug fixes, I guess.
Is it running okay now?
Well, I didn't I had zero trouble with it. Like, I didn't have any of the issues that anyone else had on PC.
Oh, you're just lying.
I wish I was lying. I wish I was lying. All my friends were like, refunded. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No,
and then
I was with you. Mine worked relatively. I mean, I did before because I was down visiting family, so I was playing Mafia 3 on this shit laptop. And when it came back home, I was like, oh, it's running fine.
Have you finished the game?
Oh no, because now I also have Planet Coast, Dishonored 2, Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2. So many games I'm playing at the moment that I'm just like,
I finished it and it's a great great ending. But
the story's really good.
Yeah, it is. It's really good. But the games that I've been playing have been just I've been replaying Fallout New Vegas.
Of course you have been, for God's sake.
I'm sorry. I wanted to get all the achievements just as Lone did. But,
how are you going with that?
Pretty good. It's pretty good. And I want to kind of do it almost all in one run, except for the parts where you have to do each different ending. But I already have some of those achievements. So
I'm telling you, there's a point, and from memory, it's like you walk out of one of the casinos in the Strip, and some sort of courier comes to you and says, you can, Kaiser wants to see you, and then the NCR wants to see you. It's that point which everything diverges. I think that's how it went.
I've spent too many hours in New Vegas to know everything that happens. So, it's a game where you really have to make tough choices of who you're going to be with, and it kind of I guess affects you throughout the whole thing. So pretty cool, but I might be a little bit cheaty and download a mod that makes dead money easier. I'm sorry.
No, that's going to disable your achievements. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, crap. That's you know what?
Don't do that. Jesus.
That's a good idea, Lone. Thank you for that information.
You're welcome, because you would have fucked up your save file.
I was going to download it tonight and then play through all the dead money tonight and be like, oh, I did it. And then I would have not gotten the achievements.
You would have fucked up your save file, mate.
Jumped off the edge.
God.
Oh my God.
I remember the worst achievements to get were Fallout 3, because I got all the achievements for that game too.
Really?
And yes,
have you seen Dead Money's achievements?
It's not that. With Fallout 3, there were achievements where not just reach level 5, 10, 15. It was reach level 5 as neutral, reach level 5 as good, reach level 5 as evil. And what you'd have to do is save, with some experience points left over before you actually leveled up. And then, for example, when you're doing the evil one, go to Megaton, kill a bunch of people, get the experience, and then you get that achievement. Then you reload, and then you somehow get to neutral and then level up.
Jesus,
I watched
save scumming it.
And it was really funny because what he did to get negative thing was, I forget, he went to Moriarty's terminal and kept on clicking on it and then turning it off and then getting negative reputation for not hacking the terminal, but he would just click on it and then leave and then click on it and then leave.
Yeah.
For 30 minutes. That was the whole stream. And I'm like, Jesus. What am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
And this is kind of why I don't want to start 100% in games again for achievements, because there's a lot of that mundane, grindy stuff that you need to do that is not fun. It's just not fun.
Yeah.
also a bunch of different, you get achievements from all the different endings, like, okay, now finish it as the Minuteman, now finish them as the Institute, now finish it as the Brotherhood.
For Fallout 4, it's the exact same thing they did with New Vegas. Like, New Vegas, you have to finish with Kaiser, you have to finish with the NCR, you have to, what's the fucking robot's name again? I'm mind blanking right now.
Yes, man.
Yes, man.
Dare you?
Mr. House,
I'm sorry.
Yes, Man?
Mr. The Yes Man?
Yes,
Man.
Yes
but
Man was
there are
the
two
best
endings for the
character.
Yes Man, right? I mean, one where you help the Yes Man, and the other where you betray the Yes Man. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
I
like,
believe so, yeah.
and each ending has like a small difference. So there's like 5 main endings, right? And then each ending has a small difference. Like you killed Caesar, but you're still fighting for Caesar's Legion. Or, you know, you like deprive the NCR of all its supplies, but you're still fighting for them.
Yeah.
Or you're with Mr. House, but you like, you know, upgraded Securitrons or not. So it's pretty cool. But one thing that people are still like, it's actually pretty active. I forget what I saw in a thread. But people still don't know what technically the good karma ending or the canon ending for New Vegas is.
It has to be
So I was
NCR.
gonna
It
say,
has
yes.
to
Because
be
everybody
NCR.
has every faction has their flaws in that game.
Yeah,
Which is why you're like, what is the true answer?
that's
Which is
the
more
beauty.
realistic than a lot of games, really. Nobody's perfect.
I will say that was one of my biggest problems with Fallout 4, though. They had no blatantly evil faction.
No, but
Yeah.
hold on. Okay. They did have a blatantly evil faction. That was the Institute. Come on.
No, but see, if you go on them, you can get rash. Like, do you know how you can just like you can look from no matter what side you're on, like just raiders, basically. Like, do you know how there's no way in a million years you can say the Legion with a good ending for Fallout New Vegas because they fucking raped, pillage, and slavery. Like, there's no one like that in Fallout.
But
I think the biggest thing for Fallout 4 was even when you tried to do bad choices in the game, the voice acting influenced you to do good things because
but
that was the main story that they wanted you.
I mean, you should be more pushed to do the good stuff, so when you do the bad stuff, it's a much harder choice.
I remember that there was this huge quest at the fort where there's this little like slave girl who's like teddy bear got stolen by like a Legion officer, and there's this huge quest that takes like almost like over an hour to finish, and you finally get her teddy bear back, and you have the option to tear it in half in front of her. And then she starts crying. Like the voice acting is superb. That's why I love New Vegas, because you can just do whatever you want. It's
I didn't know
funny.
that.
You just spent like an hour finding a teddy bear.
Like yeah, you should
and
be
then
able
you
to do
just
whatever you want roleplay wise.
Tear it in half. It's just great.
You know, the one
Have you
thing...
ever seen...
No,
Okay,
I'm letting you continue.
Oh, okay. Well, I stopped for you. I was being a polite guest. I'm in your house. I'm being nice. But have you ever seen? There was a mod for Fallout 3, The Pit, what let you eat the baby.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
And you like immunity to radiation, right?
Yeah, but it's so funny. Like you had the option to eat a child.
The sound too. It's like different from the normal cannibalism sound as well. You're like wine or something.
Quite literally, baby back ribs. Your turn, Lauren.
Oh, God. I remember the most interesting thing I ever heard about New Vegas, because I only ever played it as a man. When you played as a female character, the Legion is just, like, so sexist towards you. It's, like, some of the stuff that happened, like, for storytelling purposes, you know, it was interesting. And I just didn't know that was actually a thing, because I never played as a female.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like if you played as a female, you can sleep with Benny and then like chop his head off while
He'll
like
take you to the tops, baby.
Yeah, you like bang him and then he falls asleep in your arms and you can like saw off his head or something.
Yeah,
Really?
I mentioned that in the last podcast I was on.
Yeah, I remember that. I think.
I remember us talking about Mr. Burke's poetry. That was really great.
Oh yeah, Mr. Burke's poetry.
But can I ask a question? Because you said the Institute's like blatantly evil, but do you think Mr. House is blatantly evil? Because they're essentially the same kind of thing, because he went to the Institute as
maybe blatantly evil wasn't the right term, but I guess what I was saying, obviously it's grey, it's a very grey, but they're obviously the eviler choice in Fallout 4.
Yes,
because I guess they both just
I disagree. So. I think the Institute is the correct way to go, because I think the Railroad are borderline a terror.
The Brotherhood's pretty like intense.
They're
and
grey
not
as well.
necessarily the greatest.
The Brotherhood has essentially become the Enclave in a sense.
No, but
like,
it's not that bad.
Yes, the Enclave isn't that bad. Don't act like you think the Enclave is that bad.
Come on, the Enclave done some fucked up shit, man.
they tried to poison everyone. You have to point that out. Okay.
Fact, okay?
But no, yeah, that's what they needed.
Okay, that's a different story.
People they tried to poison. It was Eden that tried to poison everybody. It wasn't just the Enclave. Eden was their leader, and he was the gross one.
Well, the Enclave, I think it was in Fallout 1 or 2 is one of them, where they were trying to kill everyone with like an air vapor or something.
Yeah, they've been notoriously trying to kill everyone for a while because I think everyone's impure.
Because they are because they lived off on a oil rig for a long time. I believe this is how it goes. They're the ones that are pure. So they were trying to figure out some sort of way to kill everyone that had some sort of mutation, and then they would be fine because they were pure for so long.
And the people in the vaults. But yeah, no, that's what Fallout needed. Someone you can look at and go, "Hooey, those guys are really some bad apples."
But I think that's what they were trying to go for. They were trying to have enough grey in there to actually make the choice hard.
But yeah, no, I understand that. You need to have I do agree you need to have grey, but then you also need, because Minutemen, there's no way you can argue can go, they're clearly not the good faction.
That's true.
Like you look at them like they needed
the ones that are trying to help everyone all the time.
Whole opposite of that then.
But wait, the Minutemen, you can turn the Minutemen against everyone else, and you can they can join the Institute and they'll kill the Brotherhood of Steel and the Railroad.
No way, really?
Yeah. You didn't know that? They turn all their artillery against the Brotherhood airship, knock them down, and they fall into a building which lands on a settlement, I think, or something.
Oh, I love that.
And then you can go in with Preston Garvey and slaughter everyone in the railroad. And he's like, I'm not sure this was the best decision. And it's like, get in line or don't be in line.
Oh my God.
I'll freaking knock you down. And
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, you could side the Minutemen against the Brotherhood of Steel and the Railroad.
That's fucked. That's fucked.
I love that.
That's
so
brilliant,
cool.
though. See, this is the thing about Fallout. You play it again and again, and new things pop up. So Fallout 4 wasn't that bad. I'll quickly talk, because we are going a little bit longer. I wanted to talk about the Wii U ending production, and I'm excited for the Nintendo Switch. That's all I want to say. I want to go to trendy hipster rooftop parties and play the Switch. But
okay, Karen. Karen.
So Nova has named the lady in the Nintendo Switch trailer.
The internet named her.
The internet named her Karen,
Yeah,
the one that
true.
had her friends call her over to a rooftop party, and she brought her Switch because it happens. It's very practical.
Well, I mean, you don't need to tell them. If Matty did his job, my picture right now should be Karen, ready to start.
I let him know
Come on,
in the
Matty,
Twitter chat.
get on it.
I hope he does. Nova, what have you been playing, or what's your favorite gaming news?
I've just been playing. I've been playing a lot of games. I need to really slow my boat down because I'm playing Dishonored 2, Planet Coaster, Mafia 3, and then also Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2.
You gotta finish games, man.
Wow.
Yeah, So I need to slow my boat down. I've just been got a bit too much going on.
Alrighty. Well, we've got a bunch of fan questions now into the final segment.
Oh boy.
We'll get into. There's a good mix here.
I thought we were going to talk about the Switch for a bit more. About how they go play basketball out while they're playing basketball, or go-karting while they go go-karting.
Cool down. Play some basketball on the Switch.
Play the literal same thing you're doing right now, of course.
Exactly.
Okay, right?
So let's ask some fair questions. Kiddo has one that my girlfriend saw and she wanted me to ask on the podcast for some reason. Kiddo's question is, how soon is too soon to ask a girl out?
If you just meet her. If you just said hello. If you've gone, hello, my name is insert name. Do you want to go on a date?
From a girl's perspective?
When is it too late to ask a girl out?
It depends. It really depends. Because I've seen people ask strangers out for coffee, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I think that's a very nothing's black and white. There's a lot of gray area in that question.
Also, how handsome are you? If you're really handsome, a woman head over the hill to go coffee.
Whether we like to admit it or not, that's an influence. Whether the person
it really
is
some
really
first
attractive
impressions.
guy.
I know people are shallow like that, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just how people are.
Of course not. I mean, if someone that you were really attracted to was willing to go out with you, and you just met them, then fucking do it. Why not?
Yeah.
And then get out there before they realize how boring you are. Get in and get out.
That's the problem,
Not a
though.
sexual way.
If you've just met someone, you take them out for coffee or whatever, if you don't know them enough, conversation can be tough. That's the problem.
Yeah. But at the same time, it depends on how good you are with making conversation. Because you could just be like, okay, so let me learn about you. Who are you?
You can be as charismatic as Lone and just chat.
That sounds horrifying. Who are you? Why are you at this table? Why did you sleep with me? I'm a murderer.
Why do you keep touching
Can
me?
I wear your skin?
Mooded, what do you think?
My Adam. I don't know. I'm in the midst of high school, so but I think Rachel's right in terms of if you're asking a stranger out for coffee or something like that, because obviously, older people like to do that, and it's like, I guess, a little bit less awkward for us. Like, if a guy my age went up to a girl, and was like, "Hey, wanna hang out with me? Want to go to Tim Hortons or whatever?" And they're like,
Tim
"What?"
Hortons, yeah.
That's so Canadian. That was so Canadian.
Oh, for the win. But
Nova and I are just like, what the fuck
Get
is
some
Tim
double
Hortons?
doubles up in here.
I don't know what it is. I just know it's Canadian as shit. Next you'll be like, Dylan, come over for some pancakes and some coffee.
Pancakes are fucking
have a nice
Canadian.
Boston cream donut
With some
like, your
Canadian
latte.
bacon.
Yeah, Boston cream donut with a double.
There you go.
The fuck is
Yeah.
a
Good
double
price.
double?
But I mean, like, I
Yeah.
guess, like, if you're in high school or you're, like, in a college or whatever, I feel like if you know a person, like, you've been friends with them for a decent amount of time, and, like, then you know stuff about them, I guess it's a little bit easier if you're under the age of, like, 20 or something. Because I guess after that point, it gets a little bit less awkward. But if you're still in school, more or less, then I feel like you should know the person more or less, like at least their last name and like what they like or something. And then you can be like, "Hey, I know you like computers. I got a great one. How would you like to try it?" And then
that sounds sexual.
afterwards. Like, it's like,
Hey, want to come over and try my computer?
You want to come and see my computer?
I have a great one.
I have a great SSD.
Solid state dick.
Oh, that's great. That's fucking fantastic. I'd love to know.
Oh man, I'm using that.
The chances are that's probably worked at some stage in the world.
Oh my god.
The best shot would be like at like a PAX convention. You're just like, "Hey, baby, want to come over and see my SSD?" You're like,
Man.
I'm too confident.
Oh god, that would be a lot of confidence. There was one political question here, but I'm not going to be asking about America's election. It's just no.
None of us are American,
No,
so
we're
we have
not
no
talking
say.
about it. We're not talking about it.
I don't want to talk about it, but can I just say
No,
something?
No,
Okay.
no, let's
No.
not.
No. This is a positive thing that I want to like.
Go on, Rachel.
say.
Go on.
So there's been a lot. I'm not going to say anything about anybody's opinions on what happened or anything like that. There's been a lot of sadness and dividing of the world lately.
Yeah.
And I think I hope this podcast can somehow lighten spirits somehow.
Yeah.
We're talking about games, and hopefully you're here because
And
you like
girls.
video games.
Yeah.
Love what you love. Tell the people in your life that you care about them, and just spread positivity.
Yeah.
That's my advice to everybody right now, because I think we all really need that.
have you guys seen the Trump Fallout 4 mod?
No, we're not talking.
No!
It's pretty
I'm putting my foot down, and I'm not even hosting this. No talk of
But
any
he
of
can
this.
be your
And-
companion. He can make the
None of it.
wasteland great again.
I'll make the transition, and I'll say this in a very similar vein to what Rachel just said. Look, I was making a lot of jokes like during the election, watching the results pan out, but and as votes, kind of came in. But at the end, I said, at the end of the day, you've got to combine together as a country and move forward. I mean, even though whether you agree with like the electoral college or whatever, one of the pillars of democracy is that after the presidential election, whoever is voted in, you just get behind the country and you move forward. For example, a lot of the times in the Australian election, I'm not happy with who's in power. But eventually, you say, all right, they're in power, and you move forward. Because the thing is, 60 million people roughly voted for Trump, 60 million people voted for Clinton. And you can't just fight with one another for 4 years. It's just not healthy. It's not productive. That's all I'll say. So, yeah.
We have a pretty
try and be
cool leader.
positive. Sorry?
Why
Daddy
did anyone else
Trudeau.
go?
Yeah, your leader seems like a real chill guy.
Hey,
Doesn't he
everyone
just
says
get
that
double
he's like
denim?
the hottest leader that we've ever had. Like, I'd show him my
Don't get me
SSD.
wrong, he's not perfect. A lot of people in Canada will say that he's not perfect.
Why
in any
isn't?
way.
Why
No
wouldn't he be
politician is
perfect? Of course not.
Because he's spending a lot of money, apparently.
Yeah,
It's on
like
a double denim, of
there's
course
going to
he
be
is.
people in the comments who will not be happy with us supporting him at all. So we'll just kind of drop it. But let's just say he's got
good-looking,
good qualities. Yeah, he's good looking.
But see, that's the thing about any...
Almost as good as
Justin
Todd
Trudeau
Howard.
is his name.
Hey?
Oh, he's a handsome fella.
See, this is the thing. That's the thing about any politician, right? They all have redeeming qualities. They all have qualities that are not so redeeming. And
exactly,
that's like any human. Like you're never gonna meet someone that you agree with in every single respect. And it's the exact same with politics. It's the exact same with politicians. And that's the most important thing. So what I always say is never. I know, but what I always say is never be swayed. Or try not to be swayed by a politician's personality. Look at their policies. That's the most important thing. What other questions do we have here?
I didn't get asked about the girlfriend thing.
I posted a question.
You answered like the first up.
Oh, I did actually. Sorry, I'm sorry. I did answer.
Nova, you're so pushy.
I'm such an idiot. I just want to be loved, Lauren. I just want your love.
I know you do.
Well, I posted a question a while back in the thing. You should probably look at it.
Okay, so Rachel asks, why is Maddie avoiding her? Rachel, why do you think Maddie's avoiding you?
I don't know. I don't understand. Every time I'm on this podcast, he just leaves. I don't understand what I did.
Do you know what the funny thing is? Like, again, he'll upload this podcast to his channel without listening to it until like a couple of days after. And then he's going to come to this bit and think, Rachel,
like, what the fuck?
I'm not avoiding you. No.
Well, Rachel, you are a Canucks fan, so I wouldn't blame him, okay?
Don't even... Who cares about hockey? Here's the funniest thing is, how many times have I been on this podcast now? Like,
3?
A good couple. No, I think it's 4. 3 or 4?
Yeah.
I have talked to Maddie once, and that was when we were playing Doom. Besides that, I just tie myself to Lauren.
Because there are some people that are always trying to get on.
There's at least one section where we roast Maddie. There's at
I
least
wouldn't say it's roasting.
Hey, they always do the same to me. Whenever I'm not on, they always pay me out. And you know what? It's time we pay back the favor.
Oh my god.
Mom, pick me up.
He thinks he's too good for us. He thinks he's too good. He decides, I don't need to be there.
I know.
Nah, it's fine.
How dare he?
How dare he?
That's like I've gone into the habit because of you, Lauren, of calling him Matthew, because whenever you mention him, you say it as Matthew. So then one time
his name is Matthew.
No, but one time I let it slip when we were playing Doom, and he's like, no, it's Matt. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Do you know what the funny thing is? Like, when I started calling him Matthew, like, he was fine with it because it was me, but a lot of people started to do the same, and he was getting so annoyed with it.
I'm not even. It's just because that's all you refer him to, so it's just in my mind stuck as Matthew, and I'm just talking. You can't just say it without thinking, and then go, "Oh shit!" He's like, "It's
Matthew
it's
is
Matt.
such a lovely name. It really is.
It is.
It really is.
For a lovely boy.
Well, that's questionable. His name is his redeeming quality. Let's say that. And here's one question that's not gaming related from Lorenzo Cristoflini. I can't pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. What is your favorite movie?
Oh god. Oh no, I can't even answer that. There's too many.
There's a lot. I have a lot of favorites.
Yeah.
One of my ones that I'll like to always go back to. Well, there's a number of them. I Am Legend, The Last Samurai. I love the Harry Potter films. Fast and Furious are my guilty pleasure. I have weird tastes.
I'll give you my genuinely. I'm not even kidding. My guilty pleasure movie is the National Treasure franchises. I fucking love that shit. It's so bad.
Weird.
Fucking love that. I eat that shit up. We're gonna steal the president of the United States. Cage, that is kidnapping. You are kidnapping that man.
How do you like Nicolas Cage movies? Honestly,
there's an art behind Nicolas Cage. There is genuinely an art. There's so much madness.
Did you
it.
like Ghost Rider?
I love to hate it. Like, I have to understand.
What?
The movie was just awful.
Yeah, no, exactly. But Nicolas Cage just gives it all. Like, you know what I mean? And even what he's giving isn't that much.
Moo Dude, Rachel, no, we're stopping to talk about Nicolas Cage. What are your favorite movies?
Oh god, there's so many. Many. I like American Beauty is a really, really great film. I like the Alien franchise.
Oh, good girl.
Good.
They're
one.
like literally some of my favorite movies.
Rachel, you mean the first two, and then we don't talk about any of the others.
The first two are the best. I accept the other ones because some of them are entertaining. They're entertaining.
It's like your third or fourth child. I accept you. The first two are better.
I should have stopped, and I might not stop again, but I'll accept that you exist at least, Stephen.
So bad. Stephen!
Oh god.
You should have said Matthew. That would have been just a tip of the
I
cherry on the
accept that
cake.
you live, Matthew.
Moo Dude, what about you?
Probably almost anything Quentin Tarantino does, but my favorite two Quentin Tarantino movies are Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs. I really love the original Scream movie. It's just so bad it's good. What else?
I have another one.
Wait, my last one, which is probably actually my favorite movie, probably Forrest Gump. I think that's a great
good.
I don't particularly like Forrest Gump that much.
Really?
Really?
Not really. I think it's a bit...
Love is like a box of chocolates. Jenny!
My favorite... Jenny!
Oh, no.
My favorite thing in the story is James from Funhouse said, watch Forrest Gump with the idea that he has AIDS and he's immune to it.
Oh
Oh my god.
No!
That he has cured, like he can't get AIDS and he's been giving it to all the people.
That's terrible.
He's like,
That's awful, and I don't respond. I'm not gonna even acknowledge that was said.
Rachel, what's your... You said you had another.
I have a couple more.
Yes.
So I recently watched a couple of things for like October's horror month and stuff like that. So I rewatched The Shining, and that's fucking phenomenal.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Also the movie Seven with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. It's really, and Kevin Spacey is the villain.
Anything with Morgan Freeman is great.
It's such a good movie. It's such a good movie.
Oh, this was the
also
funny thing.
Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman's great.
This was the funny thing.
Shawshank Redemption's a good movie too.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah, Shawshank Redemption's really good. Yeah.
Isn't that like the most highest rated movie on IMDb?
Yeah, it is.
It's great.
It's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I also like The Godfather. That's a great movie, even though that's like the second most rated on IMDb.
You know,
this
is the funny thing. I was on a holiday with my girlfriend, and it was raining for a couple of days, and there was some shitty. It was kind of like a Filipino channel or something, and they just did a huge run of the Godfather movies. I like them, and my girlfriend hates them with a passion. Like she thinks they're so boring.
That's like one of my favorite games has been officially called the most polarizing game of all time. Deadly Premonition. You either fucking love it or you fucking hate it. I think it's one of the greatest games to ever touch the planet. It's Twin Peaks, the video game.
Okay.
I've
never played it.
I've never played it, but I've heard of it.
It's
and I've seen a couple of things from it, and I'm like, I think, it's either you love it or you hate it.
It's just a method of madness that is so enjoyable to play, like genuinely enjoyable.
What platform is it on? Is it on the GameCube? Question mark?
Is it on the Nintendo Entertainment System?
This is to end this, and because we didn't talk about it, this is the one thing that I will say about the Nintendo Switch, just to completely change topic. It needs to somehow on the Virtual Console have every single game ever released on Nintendo consoles released on the Switch. Somehow.
It won't.
Not going to happen.
Still not as good as the GameCube.
The GameCube was an interesting console because I never owned it. I had to borrow it.
You better watch your tongue there, son.
I know. Hold on. I'll be fine. I'm not going to get angry at it or whatever, but I borrowed it from, my brother borrowed it from his friend and I played it. I loved Wind Waker. I loved, I can't remember what else I played on it, but I never owned the GameCube. It was something that we just borrowed, so I don't have those fond feelings. But I remember, Mudu, in the last podcast you were on, you talked about how you grew up with the GameCube.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I grew up with the Nintendo 64.
First thing. I know. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. It was a fine console. It just had a weird.
I will
little
say,
disc.
I think it was. I don't remember if this was a PlayStation 2 game or if it was a GameCube game because I had both of them.
Probably both.
I'm gonna. Yeah, it might have been. I don't know. But it was one of my guilty pleasure games. It was this a fighting game called Marvel: Rise of the Imperfects. If anybody out
sounds
there,
so cringeworthy. Rachel.
it's pretty like cringy, but it was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
Can I quickly do my favorite news of this week?
What?
It's really quick. Destroy All Humans got remastered to PS4. Fuck yes.
Whatever that
Hooey, that. Oh, it was my shit. Like I got it really like when I shouldn't have. Like I got Destroy All Humans too, and like I really shouldn't have got that game. Like it was like your main antagonist for the first level is just called Bongwater, and it's just a bunch of hippies running around getting high and having sex.
Oh my god.
It was such a great
Nova's
game.
Friday night. So anyways,
Absolutely.
that's the
and on that note, let's end.
That's the end of this podcast. As always, thank you, guests, for joining me. This has been a blast. It's always great to have the Canadians on and the one Aussie that's always on my podcast, Nova.
Hello.
Thank you, everyone.
The Canadians.
Love you.
The Canadians.
Well, okay, the Canadians can also end this podcast however they seem fit. So
Hey, I sang a song last time, okay?
Oh, so no, it's
Did you?
Rachel's turn.
Yeah,
Put me
you
on the
did.
spot.
Rachel has to end.
Oh my God.
I also sang a song.
You did? I don't remember that.
I
sang
remember.
Butcher Pete, remember?
You sang Butcher Pete.
Did
What
you?
I really remember is when you sang I Got Spurs, whatever the name of the song is, and you were like,
Oh God.
you sang it, and I was
Jingle,
like, Rachel, you have a
jangle,
good
jingle.
voice. It was decent.
No shit, she's doing theater, dickhead.
I
Yeah.
study this in school.
This is what
Vancouver.
Dude.
Can't give a compliment nowadays without getting
Rachel, you
fucking
did
jumped on.
that
Thank
shit
you,
thing.
Lone. I appreciate your compliment.
What a West Coaster.
Oh,
East Coast
yes.
is the best. Sorry.
Shut
Actually,
up.
Oh,
Sure.
well,
You know what?
there's nothing to do in
You
Canada
three
besides
can
Toronto.
fight and end the podcast
Okay.
however you all seem fit. All right, I'm going to stop talking now. Thank you for joining, everyone, and they're going to end the podcast.
Hey Rachel, remember that one time you got really drunk and me and Lone and you streamed? That was And on that note, follow me on Twitter at NovaBeam23.
Follow me
Goodbye.
on Twitter
Oh.
and see all of our crazy antics. It's gonna be great. Our
That
lives
was
are
boring.
really
Don't
fun.
move here, please.
Her internet fucked up and she forgot her password because she was drunk and she couldn't log back in.
And then she messaged us going, I forgot me password.
See you later,
Okay, that
everyone.
was a bad night. Okay, I woke up and I felt like garbage.